My wife said, "My brother gets a house key. Family doesn't knock." I said, "Then you can leave with him." She smirked like I was bluffing. I changed the locks that night, set his spare bag on the porch, and let her explain to her mother why our marriage ended over a key. Original post. I'm Nalan, 34. My wife, Kelsey, is 31. We'd been together 5 years, married for 2. I work in purchasing for a regional HVAC company, which means I spend most of my day tracking who has access to what was approved, and what quietly walked off because somebody thought rules were optional. That matters here. The house was mine before the marriage. Small brick place outside Raleigh, nothing fancy. Just mine. I bought it at 29 after living like a monk and saying no to every trip, every new truck, every dumb purchase my friends kept calling worth it. When Kelsey moved in after the wedding, I never made it feel like she was a guest. I cleared closet space, repainted the spare room the color she wanted, gave her full say over furniture, all of it. What I didn't do was agree to open door access for her family. Her younger brother Travis is 27. He's one of those guys who is always between opportunities, but never between excuses. Flat tire, bad roommate, late paycheck, lost wallet, dead phone, migraine, mystery car issue. Life just keeps happening to Travis, apparently. The first weird thing was little stuff. I'd come home and 2 beers would be missing. The thermostat would be changed. The side garage door would be unlocked when I knew I'd shut it. Once I found a damp towel in the downstairs bathroom on a day nobody but me should have been there. Kelsey kept shrugging it off. Maybe you forgot. Maybe the cleaner moved it. Maybe stop acting like the house is Fort Knox. That line stayed with me. Then last Tuesday my front camera sent a motion alert while I was at work. I checked it on break and there was Travis, walking right up to my front door, unlocking it with a key and strolling inside with a fast food bag like he paid the mortgage. I didn't call right away. I waited. When I got home that night, Kelsey was at the kitchen island scrolling her phone like everything was normal. I asked one question. "Why does your brother have a key to my house?" She looked up, not even guilty, just annoyed, I noticed. "Your house? Really? I gave him one for emergencies." I said, "What emergencies?" She said, "Family emergencies. He's my brother, Nalan." That should have been the whole fight. It should have ended with, "You're right, I should have asked." Instead she doubled down. Said Travis needed somewhere safe. Said family shouldn't have to stand outside knocking like strangers. Said I was making a power issue out of something small. Then Sunday pushed it over the edge. I came back from the gym around 11 a.m. and Travis was in my kitchen barefoot, eating leftover fajitas out of a bowl I use, his duffel bag dumped by the hallway bench, my garage fridge open. I just stood there for a second. Kelsey came down the stairs tying her hair back and saw my face. Didn't even flinch. I asked, "Why is he here when neither of you called me?" And that's when she said it. Calm as weather. "My brother gets a house key. Family doesn't knock." Something in me went quiet right there, not loud, quiet, which is usually when I'm done. I said, "Then you can leave with him." Travis actually laughed. Kelsey smirked like I was bluffing. So I walked past both of them, opened my phone, called a locksmith I'd used once for the back patio door, and asked if he could come rekey the exterior locks and reset the smart lock that afternoon. Then I grabbed Travis's duffel, his shoes, and the charger he'd left on my counter and set them on the porch. Kelsey followed me outside, hissing that I was being dramatic. I said, "No, I'm being clear." She told me I was choosing a lock over family. I told her, "No, you chose your brother over your marriage. I'm just the one saying it out loud." The locksmith came at 3:40. By 5, the old key didn't work anymore. Kelsey packed an overnight bag and went to her mother's. Travis took his stuff and called me a control freak from the driveway. The house was silent that night. Honestly. Best sleep I'd had in months. Update 1. 3 days later, Travis tested the new code twice before noon. I know because the camera caught him pulling on the handle, staring at the keypad, then kicking my front step like it had personally offended him. A minute later, I got a text from an unknown number. "Bro, I just need my toolbox and hoodie. Stop being weird. There are 2 kinds of men. Men who say stop being weird when they've crossed a line, and men who don't need that sentence because they know where lines are. I texted back once, "Tell me what's yours. I'll put it outside at 6. At 605, I set a plastic bin on the porch with one hoodie, a rusted socket set, and a fishing cap that had been sitting in my garage. He grabbed it, took a photo like he was collecting evidence for a war crimes tribunal, and left. Kelsey's texts came in waves. Long paragraphs. "You embarrassed me. Mom is upset. Travis was never trying to disrespect you. Families help each other. My dad had a key to our house growing up and nobody made it weird." That last part was almost funny because her dad never once walked into this house uninvited. Then the flying monkeys started. Her cousin Alyssa texted me, "You really ended a marriage over a spare key." I sent one screenshot. Kelsey's message from Tuesday night, "I give Travis a key. He needs access sometimes and I'm not asking permission from my own brother." Alyssa never replied. The surprise came from Kelsey's mom, Carol. She called that Thursday evening sounding tired, not angry. She said, "I'm not calling to fight. I just need to know exactly what happened." So I told her. Camera footage, unannounced entry, Sunday kitchen scene, the line about family not knocking. She was quiet for a second, then said, "I told Kelsey house keys require 2 yesies." That interested me. Apparently Travis had already burned through access at Carol's place by borrowing her garage opener and letting himself in whenever he wanted. So this wasn't some sweet little family custom. This was a pattern with a fresh address. Friday morning I met with a divorce attorney. Consult was $425, worth every dollar, no kids, premarital house, clean paper trail, camera footage, texts, separate down payment records. He told me the same thing I already felt in my gut. This wasn't about a key, it was about permission. Specifically, me not being allowed to have any. I moved my personal documents into the safe that weekend. Reset the garage keypad, changed the Wi-Fi, canceled the extra smart lock guest profile Kelsey had created. I wasn't angry, just methodical. Work was busy, which helped. I had a vendor audit Thursday and a budget meeting Friday. Real problems. Useful problems. At night, the house felt different. Not empty. Recovered. Update 2: about 2.5 weeks after the lock change, Kelsey stopped pretending this was about family and started trying every angle she had. First it was guilt. Then it was image control. She made 2 vague social posts about cold husbands and men who weaponize ownership. I ignored them. Then a mutual friend from church texted me and said, "Kelsey's telling people Travis was basically living there and you locked him out with nowhere to go." Basically living there. That was news to me. I sent back 3 camera stills with timestamps. Tuesday at 2:14 p.m., Sunday at 11:03 a.m., Thursday at 11:47 a.m., different days, different unannounced entries, same key. The friend replied, "Oh, that is not how she told it. Of course it wasn't." Then Travis got bold. He showed up at my office on a Tuesday asking reception if I was inside and saying he needed to grab his stuff from my garage. Receptionist called me. I told her he was not welcome and to send security if he wouldn't leave. He left before security reached the lobby, but not before texting me another paragraph from another number about how real men protect family. That afternoon, my attorney sent 2 letters. One was the formal separation filing to Kelsey. The other was a cease and desist/trespass notice to Travis. Clean language, no drama, no threats, just facts and consequences. 2 nights later, Travis tried the side gate at 9:18 p.m., then the garage keypad. Then he stood on my porch and called Kelsey while gesturing at my front door like he was performing for an invisible jury. All on camera. I called non-emergency police, gave them the incident history and the prior attorney notice and asked that it be documented. An officer came by, reviewed the footage, and later spoke to Travis by phone. He told me if Travis came back again after the warning, it got simpler for me and worse for him. That same weekend, Kelsey asked to talk. She came by in the calm version of herself. No yelling, no sarcasm, just that soft voice people use when plan A failed and they're trying plan B. She said, if you just apologize to Travis for overreacting, we can still fix this. I actually looked past her when she said it, not because I was trying to be rude, because I needed 1 second to accept that she still didn't get it. I said, you are asking me to apologize to a man who used a key you gave him without my consent to treat my house like a clubhouse. She said, he's my brother. I said, and you were my wife. That one landed. She teared up, told me I was punishing her over one mistake. I told her one mistake is forgetting milk. One mistake is missing a dinner reservation. Repeatedly giving another man unsupervised access to my home and then defending it is not one mistake. It's a belief system. Carol called me later that night. She didn't defend Kelsey. She just said, I'm sorry, I should have stepped in sooner. Sometimes the most honest apology comes from the person who didn't technically owe you one. Also, while all this was happening, I got promoted. Senior purchasing manager, better salary. Bigger team. I signed the offer letter the same afternoon Travis got the trespass notice. Timing has a sense of humor. Final update, the divorce was finalized a little over 3 months after the original lock change. Fast, all things considered. No kids, no jointly owned real estate, no shared business mess. The house stayed mine. Kelsey got half the joint checking account, the bedroom set we bought together after the wedding, and $6,000 to close out the last argument her attorney tried floating about marital improvements. Cheap compared to dragging it another 6 months. Travis never came back after the police warning. Funny how men who talk big about respect get very quiet once paperwork and patrol cars enter the chat. Kelsey moved into an apartment across town for a while. Last I heard, Travis stayed with her for 2 weeks, missed his half of the rent, and got into it with the upstairs neighbor over noise. Some patterns really don't need me to witness them personally. Carol texted me after the decree came through. Just one line. You were right about the key. That was enough. I turned the spare room into an office and painted over the dark accent wall Kelsey loved and I always hated. Moved my tools back into the garage without wondering who would help themselves to them. Put a chair on the back patio and started drinking coffee out there before work. Quiet. Actual quiet. Not the kind where people are angry and not talking. The kind where nobody is trying to take something from you. A couple people asked me later if I really thought a marriage should end over a house key. No, but it can absolutely end over what the key represents. Access. Entitlement. The assumption that your boundaries are optional if somebody says the word family with enough confidence. Family should knock. Family should ask. Family should hear no and still know they're loved. What Kelsey wanted wasn't generosity. It was automatic surrender. And the moment I didn't provide it, suddenly I was cold, controlling, dramatic. All the usual words people use when your boundaries inconvenience their plans. The key wasn't the marriage. It was the test. She failed it. If you've ever had someone dress up disrespect as family, tell me in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you want more stories like this.